Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'll be doing Islamic reflections on stars. Before we begin, please subscribe and for more Islamic content, and inshallah you'll get good deeds for it. So, stars, they tend to live a long time, way longer than humans, right? And when you think about that, you should remember that, hey, my life is fleeting, And that sounds depressing, but don't forget that in Islam, death is not the end. Death is just one part of our experiences that we'll go through. And when you think about it like that, yes, death is still sad, When someone dies, you're still going to be sad about it. But at least then, you realize that when it comes to your own death, you can remember that there is something afterwards, that life is not completely depressed, that there is meaning in life. And another thing you can think about stars is how sailors would use stars in order to guide them before GPSs and modern technology exist. And in the same way that those sailors would get lost without stars, you would be lost without Islam. And sure, people can try to live their life without Islam, but when they do that, they open up so many more problems for them. They make life meaningless, because now at this point, what do? If you come up with your own definition of what is the meaning of life, then how is that valid? Because you came up with that definition. At that point, just do whatever you want. And if that's the case, that you do whatever you want and you think that's the meaning of life, then when death comes, that's not something you're going to want. And if you do want death, then you're just being suicidal, and then in such a case, then you're just saying that the meaning of life is just to die. And in this case, it creates like this situation where you have an existential crisis. But with Islam, all of this goes away because we have a meaning, and death is not meaningless. There's a purpose to death. And another thing we can think about is that, like, whenever we look at the stars, these stars, they burn so brightly, yet they're so far away that they don't hurt us, But in that same sense, the sun, it has taken like many people's lives because they weren't careful of it. Yet the sun isn't even that close to us. And in that same sense, whenever you look at the sun, you say that's really hot, that's incredible. But if you go to there are many stars that are burn hotter, brighter than the sun. And in that sense, we should remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so great that He can create beings greater than the sun. And despite all that, we should remember that we should say Alhamdulillah for the things we have. And one of those things is the beauty of the sky. If you go out at night and you see stars, say Alhamdulillah. Say Alhamdulillah, you can see the beauty of those stars. Say Alhamdulillah for your eyes, for your feet that allowed you to go there, for your hands that allowed you to drive there. Say Alhamdulillah for these things. When you look at the stars, say Alhamdulillah. When you look at anything, say that's positive, that's brought you benefit, say Alhamdulillah. And make dua that inshallah you'll get to go to Jannah, where you can get all of these things and even more, and even greater. And you can get things that you would have never gotten in this life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan kaseeran for watching. Please subscribe, and inshallah you'll get good deeds for it.